Hello and welcome to episode 8 of season 2 of How I Tank, the M60 edition. I have with me Huey and Tofu Smurf.
Hi.
Hello.
Just to get this out of the way, in order to get this tank, you had to participate and be in a clan that was in the top 30 or top 5 of each stage to receive this tank, and you needed to get a certain amount of battles. But if you're not listening to this segment, please message Arms Dealer for codes. Yeah.
That's a decent amount of damage right there.
Fucking
So-
Asian drivers.
You know, like, with every good tank, you gotta see how well it jumps off a cliff, so we got that out of the way, and we found out that you can damage your turret ring by jumping off a cliff.
I like how you went from the straight safe path and then made a right turn to the 500 damage path.
Well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I make it up with it with the first shot of the match. So the M60, when you compare it to the M48, it will be appearing as a more maneuverable, faster version of the M48.
So slightly better than crap.
Yeah. But I like the M48.
I don't think it's even slightly better. I think it's a lot better.
But, yeah, I was about to get to that. The gun stats on this thing are quite improved over the M48. It has a faster aim time, a better accuracy, and the on-the-move accuracy, which isn't listed as a stat, is noticeably better than the M48.
I was gonna say it looks slightly more like the old patent.
It has a lot of the pre-nerf M48 gun stats.
Yeah. At the
Except-
cost of armor in the hull. The turret armor is approximately the same. I think I saw somewhere that the cupola is a little more armored than the M48, but that doesn't really matter. And as you see, I just absorbed a 268 shot to my mantlet.
Yeah, this tank absorbs more or bounces more than you would think.
And if you're on the enemy team, please shoot the TV on the front of the tank. But if you're on my team, don't shoot the TV.
You know, by TV he means that big ass light.
The infrared. Yeah.
I was telling people to press V to turn on the flashlight.
But overall, this tank is pretty good. We got some pretty snazzy replays with it. With our 3-man M60 terror platoon. And it feels like back in the day when the mediums only went to tier 9 and you had the patent death squads going.
I miss those days.
Those days were awesome.
Which, by the way, for reference, all these platoon battles that we played, I think the minimum damage we did as a single member was at least 2k.
Mm-hmm.
Every battle. This thing racks up damage so fast.
Well, its reload is approximately 7 seconds with a little more. And you can pop shots off extremely fast because you don't necessarily have to do a full zoom in. And I get a very lucky bounce right there.
Ooh. Nice turn at the end.
Mm-hmm. And this 704 can't take it anymore. As I throw a shot into the,
Corpse.
yeah. You gotta make sure it's dead. And for those who are wondering, the mods will be linked in the description below. Yep.
Sorry.
Pretty easy to install. I think.
I like the snazzy show you where you're looking, or where the enemy's looking.
Yeah, that is a nice feature of the new patch. XVM will now show the direction that enemy tanks are looking, as well as where friendly artillery is looking. Though it won't necessarily show you where they're zoomed in, it will just show you the line which they are facing.
Right.
Which is still very good information to know.
It is. It lets you know where you have already support and when you don't. I actually like that.
I'm just using PPK's mod pack.
Did he
You
update
finally
it yet?
updated it?
Yeah, he doesn't have the sight thingy, you know, when the enemy's turret's facing what,
Mhm.
because we weren't sure if it was legal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems kind of like the enemy one seems kind of cheap, But I do like the friendly artillery.
No,
one.
I do like the friendly artillery, but
Well-
I saw the enemy thing and I was just like, oh Jesus.
I put it in the same boat as the zoom out mod. I mean, it just saves you a few seconds of scrolling around the corner to see where they're looking.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
So anyway, on to the next replay. We will continue our discussion about XVM's newest feature, the direction indicator. Alright, and here we are on Runeberg with the M60. I don't know what you guys are watching, but my tank just decided to turn in
yeah,
place.
I saw that too.
That is very weird. Replays. I don't know what they did since they first put it in, but I think the replay quality has gone down since the first implementation of these things.
I missed the whole after battle reports part of
Mhm.
being a part of the replay. It really freaking annoys me that I have to record the after battle thing and then try and add it in later, and then I always forget that I have them recorded and never actually add them to the videos.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I like the XVM with damage tracker. It allows you to.
Yeah. At least we can get one of the things we need.
And
Yeah,
in
damage.
all reality, that's pretty much all you need from.
That should be all that's important.
I would like to see them add damage taken or the potential damage taken.
No,
to
that's
I like,
harder.
I think that's
but
a decent stat.
I think the just damage received is good enough. Because I like to know what gun just hit me without having to do the math. So anyway, we're going village. As you can see, the enemy team is quite spread out. We're fighting 2 other M60s on the enemy team, plus who knows what else is out here. So they, for some odd reason, did not rush into the village to counter us, and they give us free shots on them. There is no artillery in this match to worry about, so I don't need to worry about any sneaky corner shots. And pay attention to the location of that M60 right there. You hear shots. You hear another shot. You get a kill.
You
He
tracked
did
him with
not
your last
move.
shot.
He did
He
not
just
bother
didn't
to repair it,
Yeah.
despite the fact that he got shot twice before I put a shot down range.
Repairs and health is totally overrated.
That
Not needed.
getting rid of fires.
Mm-hmm. No, fires aren't scary at all.
No. It always cracks me
So-
up when you see something burn from full down. It's like,
Mhm.
really?
Especially when you just like start it with a high caliber gun.
I think it's even funnier when someone's at like 11 HP left and they're still burning, but your teammate shoots it when it's at like 10 or like 1 HP.
Yeah. That
Fucking
or
Dick.
using the fire extinguisher when there's less than 100 HP. I just let myself burn out usually if I get that
Yeah,
low.
there's no point. Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Thanks. Jeremy tracked him as I was leading.
Hate it when that happens.
But hey, I get revenge right there with a 27 damage shot.
Kill sealer.
Jeremy's been tracking with a lot of his M60 shots.
Yeah, he doesn't do too well in this match. As he points out, we cannot have a match or replays with him actually succeeding in it. He needs to die. So we fulfill that requirement on at least these 2 replays. I don't know about the next one.
What's
I know
sad?
that feeling.
What's sad is if I had my fraps working, I purposely saved replays where me and Jeremy were doing well. And then 8.7 happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
There's something you can download.
So yeah, that shot should have panned. I don't know why I didn't. My guess is he went up on a bump and increased his slope. But I don't know. I just put a shot into his loader.
Man, they are turtling hard on this.
Yeah.
They're also turtling poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it is Runeberg.
As you can see on your minimap, Tophus is going for a flank.
Oh, it actually says Tofu Smurf on our mod pack.
No, mine says
Um,
Tofus.
mine says Tophus.
So I'm having the hardest time in the world killing a T1
Yeah, he was
Phen.
angled pretty well.
Yeah.
I think for fires, I think it's
Take
you
that,
wanna shoot
lamppost.
it in from the front, like the front right side. I think lower front right side.
For
from
the
your
what?
point of view. From your point of view, to try to set it on fire or something. I
The
forget.
T110?
Mm-hmm.
And that was an extremely lucky shot right there.
The IS-3 ammo rack's pretty easy to hit. It's like the whole front right corner of their tank.
So Hugh, you've been pubbing for a few days, and you do not have an M60 due to your lack of clan at the moment. Which, by the way, everybody send Cam Huey clan recruitment messages. He loves it.
I do. I giggle like a little schoolgirl.
How do you feel fighting the M60 or giving out tier 10s to players who do well in clans?
I'm okay with it, especially since it seems like, I mean, this, you can't say this is the strongest tier 10 medium out there. So I'm okay with it. It's not like it's you know, they're giving away like Foch 155s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting against these, I don't really have a problem with it because the only time I've actually run into them was in a 704, and 704s really don't have any issues with the M60s. So I don't know. I'm okay with it.
All right, and we'll continue this discussion, unlike we did last time, on the transition to the next episode. Not the next episode, next replay. Alright, and we're continuing our discussion of whether or not the M60 is overpowered or unfair to give to clans.
I don't know, like, I would say I don't think M60 1-on-1 is overpowered. I think it's okay for them. Like, I like the fact that they're giving their Clan Wars team or players actual incentives. I mean, yeah, gold was a nice incentive, but I mean, they're slowly doing away with how much you can buy with gold nowadays. So really, it's what, credits, premium, and tanks now. So, I mean, yeah, you can get consumables and stuff, but you can get that with credits. So, I'm okay with that. And as to the whole OP thing, I think it's just fine. A platoon of these is just as strong as any other platoon of tier 10 mediums. I would actually say a platoon of Bat Chats or T62s are probably stronger. So, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it depends on the map. I mean, the DPM on these, you get higher alpha out of these guns over the T62, but the T62 can sustain damage faster. Not faster, but over time better.
And better armored.
Right.
But as far as peaking goes, peaking or terrain maps, M60s will reign supreme over anything Russian.
Right.
I think in terms of mediums, I'd rate this below the 62A, the Bat.
I'd say it's
That's
on
about it.
par with
That's
the
about it.
E50M.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I think I would put it about the same as E50M.
I
And
would
as-
normally, but the depression is what takes the cake for me.
Yeah, well, the reason I'm kind of giving the E50M a little bit more points is because you do have that the ability to angle just a little bit better with it than this. So you can peak a little bit better with a 50M over an M4 or an M60. So, but I mean, it's the difference is, you know, it's like looking at oranges and apples between the two. Because I mean, if you look at the M50 is more of a sniper role, anyways. So.
Meanwhile, the M60 can snipe fairly well, and the accuracy on the gun and the recent patches to accuracy in the game have actually made it pretty reasonable at range. But the E50 is no doubtly superior at threading needles at 500 meters.
Yeah.
However, the silhouette on the E50 is massive, and I'm not saying the M60 is small. I mean, it sticks its face out, and it has that pimple on top to pop. And for some odd reason, that T62's cupola does not want to get penned.
I've gotten to the very salty bit of this box of fries.
That's the best bit.
To me, that's
Until
the
you-
worst bit. I don't like a
until
lot
you-
of salt.
I like some salt, but not to the point where I can't feel my tongue.
Jeez, that's a lot of salt.
You know you're not supposed to, like, down the package of salt.
I didn't put any packets of salt. This is what McDonald's just gave me. Standard.
Right?
Standard salt.
How can you tell that the match is kind of boring at a standstill? Start talking about salt.
Well, there's like
No.
4 of us holding off a horde of
Entire
tier
flight.
10s,
No, I agree, but I'm just saying it's just a little, you know.
and a bat chat deciding it wants to dump its clip into my engine block.
Anus.
So at this point, Tofu and I are watching this bat chat very ferociously, while Jeremy by himself holds off an M48, an IS-7, and a T-62A.
Your
pretty
other
much.
flank needs to push.
I think eventually they do push. They're just taking their sweet time while we, bide our time over here.
Counting tanks on a mini-map and making a decision is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was telling Theo about this earlier, but I absolutely hate it when you're like sitting there and you're like pinging on the map and nobody's paying attention, and then all of a sudden your flank gets swamped, and then they notice, oh hey crap, they're going for our base, we need to go now. It's like, what the hell?
Well, sometimes when someone goes a little too aggressive, I tell them to get back, and they keep saying no, and then I'm like, you're gonna get rushed there, and then when they finally do get rushed, they ping the help button, and I'm just like, yeah, no, fuck you.
So this IS-7 makes the grave mistake of going over a cliff to come at us instead of going around the terrain that is nicely
Yeah, so you can
indefilate
actually have
for
some kind of gun depression.
instead of exposing his nice juicy underbelly to us.
If he had just stayed on the road, the dirt road right there, it would have been pretty difficult to root him out.
Yeah, the difference being is neither one of you would have had shots on each other at that point.
Yeah.
But it would have at least allowed for the mediums to have the confidence to push up.
But at this point, people need to understand when they play their tier 10s, trading 1-for-1 is not how you do it.
Especially when you're trying to trade 1-for-1 with a medium who's going to have a shot every time you peek out.
Damage, maybe not kill, or maybe not damage or wise, but like if you decide to make a push, I tend not to favor the 1-for-1 trade.
Nah, if they had done it right, all of these tanks would have come around at the same time as the IS-7 and just swarmed you.
And we would have maybe killed one or two, yeah, based on their health, but that's it.
And that T-62 turned right at the exact moment for me to get it tracked. But I make up for it after that shot.
I was gonna say not
after it kills Jeremy because he can't live. See, look, I made up for it. We win. Jeremy's dead.
That was a nice defense, though.
We held the line. They shall not pass.
The Mannerham line?
The Mannerham line.
Okay, Gandalf.
Oh, shall not pass. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this special M60 edition of How I Tank. We hope to see you next time, which we will record right after this, so you know it's coming eventually. I won't leave you up in the air, maybe.
This time we promise we'll talk about the actual tanking.
Yeah, this is just more to show off the M60 for you guys who are interested in it, and us to reassure you that it's not the end of the world and it's going to crush you every time you see it in pubs.
Smig just wants to brag.
Yeah.
It's actually... unless you're up against a well-coordinated platoon like this, you shouldn't have any issues with the M60. Just shoot the same place you would shoot the M48. You're fine.
Not the turret. Not the front of the turret. Anywhere else on the tank.
M48 in the front of the turret either, though, so...
Anyway, join us next time.